Hope everybody is well. I haven't even brushed my hair. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. Getting ready to go to a doctor's appointment. Just a general doctor's appointment. I switched doctors. I have to actually establish care at this new doctor, so I'm going to do that today. I have the day off because I got to do some grocery shopping too and some house cleaning, so it's going to be a busy day for me. Lots of stuff on tap. Just want to talk a little bit about some things. I've been messaged, emailed, contacted by different people on here, on and off. Some very welcome contacts that I click with very well. Some contacts, I don't know if I would say they're not welcome, but people that, shall we say, came over. Good morning, Masked Spoofer. Came over from places and are part of the riffraff that's on here now. The reason I named this video what I did is because I was just laying in bed this morning thinking about how YouTube used to be 4 years ago. There were people I had issues with for sure. Some I probably still have issues with, although they're not like on YouTube broadcast for all to see. But yeah, there were issues going on with me and other people back then, and they were on and off. They weren't like constantly throughout those 4 years either. But my point is, I went from, I should say, experience-wise, purity, which means when I first started my channel, it was to help people. It was talking about narcissism. It was uploading narcissism videos and about my own experience with narcissists and how I overcame that, and just really a lot of life coaching of people offline, privately, on the phone, sometimes in person. And it was nice. I felt like I was helping people. It was a nice, I guess, direction to go in, I suppose. And from there, YouTube decided to start doing the live streams, and that's where a lot of the parodies, I know Pink Lady Luck did parodies, I did some parodies. We would parody each other just for fun. It wasn't like mean. It was just for fun. We would play off each other's personalities, and somebody would lay in bed and we would do a parody of us laying in bed, or somebody would dance a certain way and I'd get up and do a certain dance. I even like parodied Billie Eilish at one point on her Bad Guy song and dance. I did I'm a Nice Guy, and I did my little dance with my big fluffy tutu, and I acted crazy, I acted crazy. It was fun though. It wasn't harmful, it wasn't angry, it wasn't hurtful, it wasn't vile. There was nothing wrong with it. We had fun on here. I feel like the fun is done. We went from purity to parody to putrification, literally. And it didn't take much. It literally took a handful of people to create this mess that our section of YouTube has become. We didn't have racism on here back then. Not that I remember. I mean, if any of y'all remember anybody being racist in our group, let me know. But I don't remember any of that. Everybody was accepted equally, whether they came on and acted like a fool, and I'm not talking about drinking, drunkenness, that stuff. Yes, there was one in particular person that still acts the fool and gets drunk on camera. I don't associate with that person anymore. But mostly it was just people that you could tell they had some mental things going on. They would come in a room and stir up strife, and then they would leave. Then they'd come back a few minutes later and they'd be happy and like nothing even happened. And we just loved those people. We didn't care that they acted crazy. We just knew that's who they were. And we accepted them, and we had a good time. We just kept the chat going, and if it got too out of hand, I would block, or I would hide somebody, or maybe delete their comments and warn them. And sometimes I got a little heated and I would start yelling a little bit because I'd get frustrated. I didn't know how to handle a live stream back then. Maybe I still don't. I don't know. I do the best I can. Anyway, it wasn't anything earth-shattering that anybody would walk away feeling bad about, unless those people happened to have a complex, and then anytime you corrected them, they felt like you were attacking them. But there were like a couple of people. It wasn't like most of our section of YouTube going cray-cray, like, you know, Girls Gone Wild or something. And since then, when all that stuff was nice and these handful of people came over, and I say came over because they weren't here to begin with. People were brought over by various people here. Why, I don't know. I guess maybe they befriended them and trusted them, and it turned out they weren't what they thought. I'm not sure why they were brought here. Or maybe they were here and I just didn't know about it, but they weren't like the players in this section of YouTube at the time, because we didn't have that stuff going on. And when those people got here, there was racism, there was perversion, there was a lot of drama with relationships and all kinds of betrayals, and it's just been a flippin' nightmare for me, who enjoyed the purity and the parody phase of things, you know? So I've been getting contacted about various things that have been posted online. People talking inappropriately to each other, things that belong on a different type of channel, which technically to me, that type of channel shouldn't even exist, but I live in an ideal utopian world in my head of where I want everything to be holy and pure, and it's just not reality, and I know that. But to answer the question of somebody that contacted me recently about, does my opinion of you go down based on what you do? Honestly, I think the reason you do what you do is you have some mental things going on because of some of your past traumas. I don't think it justifies what you do. I think you could get help and learn how to interact more appropriately with people. I think certain comments made of a physical nature back and forth towards people, for lack of better terminology, people always say get a room. Now, I wouldn't tell you to get a room. I would tell you just stop doing what you're doing. Stop soliciting people for things. It's not right. I'm pretty sure it's illegal. And if you are indeed doing that, then yeah, you need to get help and you need to stop. People having these private conversations and text talking about inappropriate things, you guys need to get help and stop doing that. Simple. That's my IMO or IMHO, in my humble opinion. And that's through the eyes of the Bible and holiness and purity I'm talking. So I don't expect everybody to agree with me. That's fine. You don't have to. These are my opinions, my channel. I think it needs to stop. I wish it would stop. I wish you would stop thinking that it's okay to talk to each other in terms that are inappropriate. And again, this is my opinion based on my beliefs. Number one, that person does not belong to you to be talking to them in that way. If you're not married to that person, you don't belong talking like that to them. Period. Or at least engaged to them and knowing that you're going to be married. They don't belong to you. That is called defrauding the person. It's not a term that anybody uses on here because everybody on here, well, not everybody, but a lot of people on here think anything goes. We can cuss, we can be perverted, we can joke pervertedly, we can be inappropriate. It's okay, we can do it. And you know what? On your channel, YouTube gives you the right to do whatever you need to do or want to do. I don't go to your channel, and if you start talking like that, I leave. Because I think it's disgusting and vile. If you want to know what I think of your perverted joking, it's vile and disgusting. You didn't used to watch people like, what's his name? George Carlin, back in the day, who told perverted jokes. I hated it. My stepdad loved that guy. He listened to him all the time. I would get up and leave the room. if that guy came on the TV. I don't like certain other actors that talk pervertedly. I don't like movies that are perverted and inappropriate. I just don't. I may be an oddball, and I'm a happy little oddball. I like being who I am. I like purity. I like holiness. I like not being part of that crowd, so to speak. And honestly, most people that consider themselves to be godly people and Bible people and Christians or whatever you want to call us, um, shouldn't take joy in that kind of entertainment or discussion. It's not something that you should be laughing at. It's not something you should even think is humorous. The Bible is clear. That type of joking is not for the believer. Period. I don't care if you're Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, Catholic, whatever. If you call yourself a godly person and you read your Bible and you believe the Bible is for today and you follow it, it's clear about what manner of conversation is okay and what's not. Simple as that. So, to that person that contacted me, I don't think less of you, but I definitely don't like your manner of conversation. I think it's inappropriate. I think you need to clean it up. I think you need to get help. If you're soliciting people, um, it's not okay. It's not cool. So, would I stop talking to you as a person? Probably not. But if you're doing that present day to people, then yeah, at some point I'll have to cut you out of my life because it's not good. And I don't associate with people like that. So I hope that answered your question, person that contacted me and asked me that. Um, Other people who recently have taken to smear people, for lack of better terms on that. Um, I get it that you feel like you're exposing the truth, and sometimes that's necessary. You know, in the Bible, even people that were biblical people did that. They warned of, I think it was Janus and Jambres or something. In the Bible, it talked about how they had fallen away from the faith and they were leading people astray. So, yes, people were exposed by name in the Bible at times. Definitely. You'd be surprised what the Bible talks about and what happened in the Bible. A lot of things that happen on here were similar to things that went on in the Bible and handled in like manner. So anyway, anything I'm telling you, pretty much you can look up for yourself, of course, if you're a Bible reader person. Now, I've always said this, and I'll say it again: if you don't believe the Bible is true, and you don't take it as for today, everything I'm saying doesn't matter a hill of beans to you, and you're going to keep being disgusting and perverted and post your nasty little videos and you know treat people the way you do. And I can't stop that. It's a free country. You get to do what you do as long as you're within whatever YouTube feels is right. This is not a godly place. I'm aware of that, very aware of it. I didn't come here thinking it was a godly place. I came here back after my own abuse because it gave me a platform to speak and a platform to tell people that there are really disturbing individuals in the world that can use and abuse you. And a lot of people will believe that they're telling the truth and you're not. And it was my way of saying, hey, when nobody believes that you were abused by these people, I believe it. And this new group of us believe you. Because people needed to be validated and heard. They needed to know that all their abuse was real. It wasn't imagined. It wasn't exaggerated in their mind. And that there was a place where people would say, hey, yeah, we get it. We understand and we believe you. And we're here to walk alongside of you through your healing process. And that helped a lot of people. I heard from a lot of people privately, you saved my life. I was going to take a bunch of pills. I had them by my bedside. I didn't do it because of your channel. I found your channel accidentally. I've heard that many times, and that blessed me to know and humbled me to know that I had some small part in that person being alive still today and believing that there was hope. I'm all about hope. So, no, I am not into your disgusting jokes, your horror movies, your back and forth angst at each other, um, your he said, she said BS. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. Am I going to tell what I think of somebody? Yeah, once in a while I will. I'm not engaging in the he said, she said long diatribes of videos, because what is the point? If somebody has an issue, they need to deal with that issue one on one with whomever they have it with, and go get some therapy if you need it, the proper kind of therapy, trauma therapy, or EMDR, or um, solutions-based therapy is a good one. Schema therapy. There's all kinds of therapies out there. Go get yourself some if you think you need it, And if other people are telling you, hey, this situation keeps happening to you, you're losing friends, people are pulling away. Somebody once told me, if a few people address something with you, it might not be the other person. It might be something you have to look at within yourself. If it gets to that point, then go look at it, go examine it, go ask somebody to help you out with it. Um, YouTube, YouTube is interesting. I don't know what I would consider YouTube. If somebody asked me to describe, hi Lee, thank you. Describe YouTube. There's not one way to describe this place anymore. I mean, it's one thing it's really not for me anymore is fun. There's not a whole lot of fun stuff that goes on here. It's either high drama, this person said this to that person, this person's smearing this person, and so they reacted, and now they're going at it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a level of that can entertain, but then after a while it's like, what's the conclusion of it all? It's just back and forth ad nauseum, and nothing ever comes of it. Now, if we had, I liked when Judge Josephine was on here. Yes, she's pretend, she's a parody person. It's Pink Lady Luck, everybody knows that. But when she had her, little trial things and stuff, and you could feel like there was going to be a verdict, I liked that because there was a closure on it. This endless stuff of this person has this issue and that issue, and they do this and that keeps going and going, and they just pick new people and new players to pick on. It never ends. There's never these people made up and everything's good now. I can't deal with the non-closure situations. I don't do well with that. I loved watching the move of Phil and Laura. That was fun because now I'm not saying I agree with that whole situation. I'm not getting into it. I like them as people very much, and I pray the best for them in their situation. I do pray they get married if that's what they want to do, and that they live happily ever after. I've always joked, and I hope they don't take offense to this. I've always said they remind me of Shrek and Fiona, because they're just happy-go-lucky people like Shrek and Fiona. Shrek is kind of gruff, and Fiona's just, oh, butterflies and birds, and. So I just always said they reminded me of them, and I love Phil and Laura. They've been very good to us, very kind to us, always. And I really hope they can, get everything worked out with the house and whatever. But that was fun for me to watch, because it was week after week they chronicled their move. It's getting closer. There's 3 weeks left. There's 2 weeks left. And then, bam, we're here together. And they lived happily ever after in front of us, on camera. We see them together. They're working it out. They're together. That was something enjoyable for me because there was closure there. There was in a sense, an end. Not really an end, but an end and a new beginning, you might say. An end to these two people being lonely and being alone, and now they're together, and now there's happiness, and now there will be hopefully a covenant, and they'll join together and they'll be one, and and that was a happy ending. That was a closure for me. It's just how my brain works, y'all. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just me. I don't like things that don't have an ending. I don't like this person's mad at this person and then they're blocking them and that's it. You never hear anything good came of it. I suppose the blocking is an ending in a sort of way. But I don't know. I like things that have a beginning, middle, and end. And on here it's just an endless middle all the time. Or maybe new beginnings that end up in an endless middle, and then just more new beginnings start and more endless middles, and there's no end. So, I don't know. That's how I feel about it anyway. I hope I answered the question of the person that contacted me. That I don't not like you. There are people on here who are blocked that'll stay blocked forever probably, because you said things that very much upset me and made me not want anything to do with you, and I don't. So those people will remain blocked. And people that are acting pervertedly and inappropriately, yeah, they're blocked too, and they will remain blocked as well. Oh boy, there's about to be a brouhaha going down with my cats. Check this out. Not me. Hold on. That is Bobo up there, and that's Mimi below him right there. And I'm hoping he doesn't try to get near her and end up in a big cat brawl. Because those two will not get along, and not that Mimi ever gets along with any other cat. But there's some high drama for you right there. And Bobo's very carefully lowering himself down on the stoop and hoping she doesn't notice. Hi, Hazel. Anyway, I don't know. It's not the same for me anymore. This is not an I'm leaving YouTube or I'm doing something different type of thing either, because I notice myself when I say, oh, I'm starting 2 channels, I'm starting a new channel. I've never stuck with it. I'm lazy. I don't feel like signing on in a new name and going to a quote unquote religious type of channel of mine. I have one, but I just don't do it. It's just not going to happen. Because, all of you that are here that aren't blocked are quote unquote my people when you're here. Not that you can't go anywhere else. I could care less. But while you're here, you're the people that come to listen to what I have to say. And there we go. We already started the brawl here. Okay, Bobo says, I don't want to deal with that. It's not worth all that. Bobo, man. I told you not to start anything. She doesn't play well with others, that one. Oh, he's going to keep teasing her. He's the only one that has the guts to do that with her. None of the other cats go after her like that, like tapping on her and stuff. He's a little stinker. Poor Bo. Bo just wants to play. I'm sure Bo wants more than play. But Mimi's not having it. Yeah, Meech, you don't play well with others, do you, Meech? She's like, I've had enough of this. I'm out. Look at Bowie. He's like, what happened? What did I do? Oh, man, these cats are funny. Anyway. So, yeah, I really do miss the old days. I do. I miss the silliness of it all and just getting to know each other. And we didn't like each other necessarily back then either, but we didn't make nasty, mean videos of each other. That didn't happen until people came over here. None of this stuff happened, and anybody that was here back in those days knows that and would attest to that we didn't have this kind of stuff here. And now those people are here to stay, unfortunately, and they're going to just stay over and do what they do. And people are going to join them and become like them, and yeah, and that's just how it's going to be here. There's going to be a lot of bad, negative stuff on here, and it's just not going to be as enjoyable as it was. And unfortunately, things rarely go back to the happy way they were. They usually progress on to the vitriol and negative junk, and just keep on going from there and rolling like a big old snowball of filth and vulgarity. But whatever. I guess that's all I had to say. I just wanted to rattle on about some stuff, I guess. I don't know what more to say about it. It's discouraging to me. But honestly, a lot of stuff in this world right now is very discouraging and disillusioning and heartbreaking. My heart goes out to the kids families and the teacher's family that lost their lives recently in the school shooting. I think it was in Texas, was it? I don't watch the news, it just pops up on my Facebook and I pray when I see it. I don't really look into it that much unless it's something that jumps out at me. Oh, hey, what's confusing you, Sue? What are you confused about? We can talk about it. I'll try to explain. I may be confused too. I'm not always the best at communicating, I admit that. I try, but I have my own deficits of a sort. Let me know what is confusing you. Sorry about that. I hit a button. I fiddle sometimes when I'm on here and I knock myself off. I may or may not be able to answer you, Sue. Just depends what you ask me, I guess. Why am I not seeing chat again? I'm not seeing chat at all. Weird. Somebody say something so the chat pops up so I make sure it's working. Maybe nobody's chatting. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm definitely not seeing the chat anymore. Hey, Hazel, say something. Just put a period or something so I know that you can hear me and that I can see you. Okay, that's odd. Well, I am looking at my phone. I'm seeing no text whatsoever, no chat. And it's saying that I'm live, but I'm not seeing anybody's text. If you're texting. I mean, the text thing isn't even popping up at all. So you may have to ask me in comments or something, Sue, because I'm not able to see anything. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't see any chat. I guess maybe when I hit whatever I hit and knocked myself off, it also knocked the chat off? What's this? No, that's not what I want. I don't know. Very crazy. I'm not sure what's going on here. I could maybe start a new one and do a Q&A. Look at the bubbles. I'm looking at all these weird things I can do over here. I found a little button to make me look different. Okay, I guess I'll sign off and sign back on and do a Q&A next for anybody that wants to ask me whatever. All right, I'll do that. I'll be right back. Come on back.